These are my talk notes. Okay, so have you ever required crucial medical attention? What if you couldn't get the treatment you needed because there were not appropriate facilities to provide you with that treatment and there wasn't funding for the cause that you needed? Sadly, veterans deal with this so very often with mental illness because their treatment is not provided for them. So today we're going to talk about the importance of facilities for veterans after war. First, we're going to talk about the trials that these veterans face when they come back from combat, and then we're going to talk about what we can do as a community to make this better for them. So vets face many dangers after they come back from combat. For instance, in comparison to pre-deployment to deployment, the prevalence of mental health illness in vets doubles. So this means that these veterans are going off to war and their likelihood of developing mental illness is twice as likely. Lyons and Jennerson, in their article from 2011, stated that out of 289,328 Iraqi freedom veterans, that 36.9% were diagnosed with mental illness. So you can see that this is a large amount of veterans, and that these people obviously need help. In the same article by Lyons and Jennerson in 2011, he stated that war veterans were 6.4 times as likely to develop PTSD. So this is a population that is dealing with mental illness, and they're not getting the treatment that they need. So what does this mean for this population? If they are untreated, this means that they can face unfavorable circumstances. Brinkner stated in his article from 1996 that there is a positive correlation between PTSD and substance abuse. He said that an increase in PTSD symptoms equals an increase to substance abuse. So therefore, these individuals, these war veterans, are facing PTSD symptoms, which can include symptoms such as flashbacks, stress, anxiety, and to reduce these symptoms, they are intaking substance. And we all know that substance abuse can lead to liver damage and other health conditions that can be very detrimental for these people. So, also, in the same article, he said that war veterans are twice as likely to attempt and complete suicide than the general population. So here we see this gray line, and this gray line represents the general population and how they typically pass on. So there's suicide, natural causes, and external causes. And so the dots represent the veterans. So we can see on this chart that the veterans are at 2.13. So that means that these veterans are attempting and completing suicide at a much greater rate. There's so many more of them than the general population that are trying suicide. So now that we know a little bit more about the risk accompanying veterans' mental health illness, we will take some time to look at what we can do as a community to improve these situations. So there's plenty of talk about physical illness in the world and in our communities in the United States, but there isn't very much talk about mental illness. So this creates a problem, and that problem is a lack of quality care for these war veterans. Harpaz and Rosenbeck, in their article from 2011, stated that interventions are ineffective in the veterans' world because there's not enough knowledge, there's not enough information floating around for the quality care to be improved. Jorn and Corton stated in their 1997 article that consumers and professionals are actually quite frustrated with the amount of resources that they have. Since there's not a lot of knowledge and there's not a lot of funding, they don't have the resources they need to improve the treatment that these veterans are getting. Yeah. So the solution to this problem is that there needs to be mental health literacy throughout the country. This means that people will know more about mental health and the impact that it can have on these individuals and what it means for their health and their life. Jorm stated in his article in 1997 that there needs to be a greater commitment of public funds for quality care. There will be more funds provided by just the electives or representatives if there is a greater awareness for mental illness. So, money equals mental health literacy. So if our community wants their priorities to be changed, we need to begin talking about mental illness and becoming more aware of what this means and the things that these war veterans are having to deal with, because if they're not getting the help that they need, then they're going to have to deal with these things for the rest of their lives and potentially might even take their own life. So today we have talked a little bit about war vets and the different things that they have to face whenever they come back from war. We've learned about the positive impact of facilities, mental health facilities for these vets, and the harsh realities that they face whenever they come back. And we've learned about how mental health literacy can improve and empower our community. Since these mental health illnesses can be detrimental to our health, this should make us want to know more and want to change what is already going on. So I encourage that all of you become more educated and elect professionals that have a desire to know more and have a desire or a value for mental health treatment.